Big Boss Jungle VIP, 6:30 in the morning here at Nang Ram Beach again. Third time I came back this week. I'm crazy, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so last night and this morning I was thinking about some more defensive aspects to add to the empty hand versus knife drill. And basically they're double arm or double hand blocks, okay? So again, what we're talking about so far is either against the body stab from the forehand or backhand side. And you have to remember, well, in the drill, in the sense of the drill, you want it to be apparent that it kind of hooks before it goes straight, all right? But in reality, it could also be from the center. And when an attack comes down the center, your footwork has to be superior, and your timing as well, okay? Because the simple thrust is the hardest one to defend against. Anyway, so we'll start on the high line first because that's where we started the drill. So the idea is that when the attack comes in, that besides this deflective extended wedge deflection with the elbow down, that it could also be a double arm block this way, okay? And which means that you're crashing that attack and trying to hurt the arm, boom, like this, okay? Now the idea again is in the sense of the drill where he takes the path of least resistance and cuts the belly open. Now you have the ability to begin to respond with the pass by dropping your guard down and following this way, okay? But what should happen here is that this one is enlisted above the elbow. This one is still here, okay? But as you do the lateral triangular step, they're going to switch positions. And again, this takes you to the superior position of the under and over hook double arm control. All right, because this hand needs to slide up underneath the arm and then hook in with the bicep and this one here. So you can get very tight with it, like we talked about before. So again, the idea is that basically I crash that line as I do the double block, all right? And I want to make contact near my elbow, just like we talked about straight elbows, okay? That 3-inch area or whatever, 3 or 4 inch area of the hardest part there, here, okay? So I want to cut in this way, okay? I want to begin to empty out here, okay? And begin to pass it because he's going to cut the belly open. And then I'm coming around this side, okay, for the double arm control. And like we talked about before, you know, you have this, also have this option once you pin it here to hit and hit. Or if he tries to use his left hand in some fashion to switch the knife from his right to his free hand, this one that's underneath the arm can also be used as a trap on that arm to prevent it from grabbing. All right, so that's something else. And then on the backhand side, it's the same thing, okay? The backhand stab comes in, I crash with the block here, okay? And it could be either the left foot or the right foot moving forward, all right? Again, I begin to empty out here when he cuts the belly open. Okay, I'm going to pass it again, here and here. This one will hook the elbow, this one will pass it this way. But then they're going to switch places, okay? And that's going to take me to the double hand control on the inside line. And again, to refresh your memory, tactically you would want to use that headbutt, and then you would want to get away from his other tools and make that switch and go back to the double arm control. All right? So crash, pass and switch, over under, okay? Headbutt, okay? double arm control. I like to also play around with the idea of once you get the headbutt in here, and if I have control just with the one arm, to go with groin hit, forearm strike, pull into the shoulder, and knee, okay? So all of that is your mano-mano tactics, again, all right? So when you play with this in the drill, you should be experimenting with that stuff as well once you get into the countering aspect in the drill, all right? And the other thing is talking about the thrust to the body. So, you know, you have this sewing machine stab where the guy just goes apeshit and stabs and stabs and stabs you. So that kind of thing can be added to the drill to intensify the drill once you get used to doing it. And so the basic double arm block against something like that, again, we talked about already, are the X blocks. Okay, now, again, the idea of it, the double arm block is to hurt the opponent's arm, number one. And then to strike a major target. Again, headbutts, even punches, right? Groin hit, all that kind of thing that we just discussed. And then, of course, the idea is to get to that double arm over under hook position on the inside, go away from the line, and on the backhand side, sorry, forehand to backhand side, okay, let's say we jam it up this way. Okay, so we jam it up this way. Here. Okay, we jam it up this way and we get the headbutt in, all right? So the idea now is to flip the hand over this way, okay? To create a little bit of space and come this way to get this underhook position, and then switch this hand from here to here over the top for under and overhook position, okay? The other way is that this arm was already down and you crash this way and you get the headbutt in and you're already in the under over position, okay? All right. The thing is, if that attack is straight up the middle and not a little bit wide and hooking, if it's straight up the middle, it's hard to get this one. Okay, it's hard to get this one. It's easier to get actually your X block just coming down here and then turning it into a lateral position on the next step. You understand what I mean? Okay, but if it does come in this way, then of course, yeah, I can get this one. But you have to sensitize yourself to seeing whether it's hooking or whether it's kind of hidden up the middle like that, all right? Okay, and then on the backhand stab, again, it's the same idea. I crash with the double hand, okay? If it's this way, this one will flip over next, okay? And I'll get to under here and have to switch back to over here. Headbutts, knees, da-da-da-da-da-da, okay? And again, same idea. If it's straight, if the backhand is kind of coming up the middle this way, and notice when I describe a backhand up the middle versus a forehand up the middle. It's a little bit different, okay? It's a detail. Anyway, so if it's a little bit wide, yeah, I can get this one in to begin with. All right, have the groin hit here, have the head hit here, have the headbutt here, have the under overhook position already. Okay, all right, guys, it's gonna do it. JKD next.